Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're tackling a big question in tech, one you've probably asked yourself. If Docker is so great for containers, why does everyone say you must learn Kubernetes? Let's get into it. Okay, so let's just dive right in. The answer really comes down to the difference between a short sprint and a long-distance marathon in the world of DevOps. You see, Docker gets you off the starting blocks, no doubt. But Kubernetes? Kubernetes is what helps you win the entire race. First up, let's be super clear. We are not here to bash Docker. Not at all. It's a fantastic, truly revolutionary tool, and honestly, it's our essential starting point for this whole conversation. So, think of Docker as the absolute master of managing containers on a single machine. It perfectly packages your app and all its dependencies into this neat, tidy, portable box. For developers, this was a complete game changer. But what happens when your application becomes a massive success? You know, when you have to move from that one single server to a huge global production environment? Well, that's when you start hitting some pretty serious walls. Now, this slide right here really captures the pure stress of a growing system. Because Docker is scoped to a single host, one misbehaving container that hogs all the memory can create a domino effect, crashing everything else. And if a container dies, your app is just down. Period, until some frantic engineer gets a 3 a.m. alert and has to manually restart it. And you can't even handle your own success. That sudden traffic spike from a new launch can bring the whole system to a grinding halt. It's just not a sustainable way to run a real business. And this is exactly where things get interesting. When the challenges of running at scale become way too much, our hero arrives. Now, it's so important to get this right. Kubernetes is not a replacement for Docker. Think of it as the essential layer on top, the brilliant conductor that manages all those Docker containers at an epic, production-ready scale. The key word here, the one you have to remember, is orchestration. Docker is great at managing one instrument, a single container. But Kubernetes? Kubernetes conducts the entire orchestra. It makes sure hundreds, even thousands of containers are all working together in perfect harmony across a whole fleet of machines. And this just brilliantly illustrates that first solution. Kubernetes does not put all its eggs in one basket. By operating as a cluster of multiple servers, or nodes, it gets rid of that single point of failure. If one machine has a problem, Kubernetes just says, no problem, and automatically shifts the work over to a healthy node. Your app just keeps humming along. Okay, let's move to the next solution, because this is where it gets really cool. Instead of relying on a human to fix things, Kubernetes has something called auto-healing. You can think of it like a vigilant medic, constantly monitoring the health of all your containers. If it even senses one is about to fail, it starts spinning up a healthy replacement before the old one even dies. The result? Your users experience zero downtime. This right here, this is how you handle success. Instead of panicking during a huge traffic surge, Kubernetes just handles it with auto-scaling. It dynamically adjusts the number of containers based on real-time demand. So you're probably asking, how does it actually know when to do that? Well, it's a simple, powerful, and totally automated process. A component inside called the horizontal pod autoscaler is always watching metrics like CPU usage. The moment it hits a threshold you've set, say 80%, it instantly spins up new identical containers to share the load. Then, when traffic cools down, it removes them to save resources. Your team doesn't have to lift a finger. And finally, there's the whole enterprise readiness thing. Docker is minimalist by design. Kubernetes, on the other hand, was born from Google's internal system called Borg. You know, the secret sauce that runs Google's search and Gmail. So yeah, it was designed from day one for massive scale and security, with all the complex networking and security features you'd ever need baked right in. So after looking at all these solutions, what's the single most important thing to take away from all of this? What's the bottom line? This quote just says it all, doesn't it? For any serious production-level application that needs to be reliable, scalable, and secure, Docker alone just isn't enough. Docker provides the container, but Kubernetes provides the entire enterprise-grade environment they need to thrive in. And ultimately, that is the key question that Kubernetes answers. It's not just another tool. It really is the foundation for the future of building and running modern software at scale. It makes sure that when your application succeeds, your infrastructure is right there with it, ready for the marathon. Thanks for watching The Explainer.